Hey YouTube, it's Petey. My birthday's coming up. This year wasn't really very productive as far as being creative, but I'm working on getting myself healthy. So I'm no longer suffering the extreme lethargy like I was, which is great. So we went and saw the Brit Beat, which was a Beatle band that had a multimedia presentation. And I really liked the first half. The second half, they got more creative with the images, with the multimedia, and I wasn't. It wasn't for me. The first half was like authentic images of the Beatles and the screaming girls and the crowds and different images that were authentic. When they had to come up with later on, the Beatles didn't tour, so they had to get creative, and they started using some stuff that I just didn't work for me. There was clowns. Anyway, uh, there's only one clown band, room for one clown band in my heart, and it's well, right now. What are those guys that play in the porta potty? Those clowns. What is the name of that band? Clown Core. That's the clown band. Of course, it used to be Mr. Bungle. So, the reviews are in from the Beat tour, and it's great. I can't wait to hear them play the song Red, which is the only song they will be playing that Blue wasn't in the band when that was written and recorded. Blue covered that song called Red from 1974, King Crimson song. Covered it in a band called The Bears, and that video is on this channel. So if you're going to see the Beat tour, check out the video on this channel that's called The Bears Red, and you'll see Blue and the Bears, R.I.P. Deathy, R.I.P. Chris Arducer. The drummer passed away last year. But this version of this song is unbelievable. They say that Deathy admired Keith Moon, and I gotta say, I don't know, man. I think Deathy was better than Keith Moon. I really do. He was a unbelievable, phenomenal drummer. Chris Arducer was. Holy cow. They say your band is only as good as your drummer. Well, spread that around to some more bands, because he had enough to go around. He was unbelievable. But I mean, really, all those guys, all three of those guys were great. And that's the band, The Bears, that Adrian Belew joined them. And they did 2 world tours. They came back around, did a couple more tours, did a couple more albums later on. And it's all great stuff. They have 4 albums, 5 counting the live album. But so yeah, the Beat tour, man, I watched some of the footage. They do Sheltering Sky. I could not stop watching it. They sound really good. And Steve is doing the Robert Fripp thing, and then all of a sudden he gives it the gas and does the Steve Vai thing. And it's like, wow. He's a better guitar player than Robert Fripp. He is. I saw the Inviolate tour last year. That was Steve's solo tour, and he won me over. And I know people will be like, I don't like shredding. I like Dave Gilmour. And it's like, well, you never saw Steve live. If you saw him live, you wouldn't say that, because he's got the same soul and the same, he's playing the same instrument as Dave. You might think it's some Yngwie Malmsteen thing that you can, call it a name and say and pick on it and say it's bad. But I saw Yngwie Malmsteen 5 times, and he's a motherfucker. Yngwie Malmsteen is so fucking good on guitar. Anybody that plays guitar would give both of their testicles to play half as good as Yngwie Malmsteen. And that whole thing about ripping on shred, like I don't like shredders, that's kind of because you never were brave enough to buy one of their albums and give it a shot. That's because you let their ability intimidate you into not experiencing the fullness of music, of what music can be. Because these guys like Guthrie Govan, you don't get Guthrie without Eddie Van Halen, and you don't get Eddie Van Halen without Jimmy Page. So to go back to David Gilmour, who's like below Page, he really is. Like Rolling Stone, they're like, oh, Gilmour, best solo. Comfortably Numb, it's the best solo. Is it really? Is it? I don't know. I've heard a lot of people try to play that Comfortably Numb solo and not come close to what Gilmour did on it. So for me to discount Dave Gilmour is doing a huge disservice to how much of a great fucking guitar player that guy really was. But it was like, Snowy White was there. Have you ever heard Snowy play? You'll know that Dave, I've never had anybody hold my hand and show me music. I had Chopper, Todd Steppe, showed me how to play an octave on the third dot. I had another lesson with a guy who put a Rainbow album on and gave me a bass and told me to play along with Rainbow. I was supposed to pay him $30. I never went back. I've never had a bunch of money and having people coming around who are unbelievably talented. Like, here, let me show you how to play this. Let me write this unbelievably beautiful melodic solo so you could play it note for note. Because have you ever heard the Mother solo? Pink Floyd, Mother? That's not David Gilmour. That's Snowy White who came up with that. Listen to the 8-track version of Pigs on the Wing and get back to me. Tell me. But yeah, we don't want to get too far into our heads about music and personalities. We want to be realistic about what's going on. So yeah, I am super stoked about the Beat Tour. We're going to be doing a remote coming up here. I'm psyched about that. There's going to be some work preparation going on. And eventually we're going to get down to it. I still have footage to edit from the last time we went out, but yeah, we're going to continue, and hopefully I will get back into the musical swing of things and have some more new music. I wrote all this stuff a while ago, and I've got some stuff. I've been playing some stuff. I've got a piece that we could try to do that's honestly, there's a lot of stuff that I just get hung up because I don't want to teach my wife the bass on some of the stuff that I can play that I know would be challenging. So I need to get over that with her, where we can figure out a way so it doesn't mentally put me in a pickle, because really I think if I just played it and told her what the keys were, she could on her own figure a lot of this stuff out, and that would be better than me showing her, wouldn't it? So I don't know. Maybe I gotta cut the apron there. So if you're looking for something interesting on television, I found this BBC TV show called Repair Shop. Check that out. I really think you would love it. It's a little sentimental, and it's not just like electronics and computers that they're repairing. It's all vintage. Like there's a cobbler that works there. The facility where they're repairing this stuff is really cool. It's really uh, kind of idyllic. It's beautifully shot. It's really colorful, and there's no shortage of really interesting people on the show. So if you're looking for something, I got a thing about the Hollywood system of rape and violence. I'm just not down with buying a ticket to a movie that's about some guys running around chasing a suitcase with something in it, drugs or money or whatever you think it should be. But just all of the violence, and then you hear that they're just raping everyone. Like, I don't want to go and pay money. I don't want to support that system. And a lot of that stuff it's garbage. A lot of it's entertainment. So the more like educational, inspirational, or there's a certain danger to that too. Like watch here I am watching a show that's going to scratch that itch of like fixing something for me. That's bad. Just like the video games where you've got a reward system where you're like harvesting stuff. That's really bad for me. Like I spent so much of my life playing this game, Command and Conquer Zero Hour. This it's like a war game, like an army game, and you have a economy. So you're harvesting money in order to build buildings and build up this army. And I would turtle and build up a huge thing and then send a massive force, and that was my playing style. I would defend. I would make a front line and defend it with automated system, so no humans are getting injured. And in the meantime, build up the resources and the resources and the resources and the technology, and then have a massive army. And those games like that, they're like, it's dangerously close to real life. So you can easily get carried away. Video games like that are like a hole that you can throw huge chunks of your life. Like, see ya. Here's 10 years of my life when I should have been doing something more creative. Anyway, you guys, I'm looking forward to this birthday and celebrating the work that I've done to become the person who I am on this birthday, which is a healthier person. And that's something worth celebrating. So if you've got something in your life that you know is bad, I would encourage you to put some energy behind resolving this, because you can figure out how to trick your body into getting well. They say risk reward. There's always, like, whenever I do something, there'll be a methodology, like a way of rewarding. So I've been having sugar-free cookies. It's my big thing now. And hopefully we can make it so that the meals that I consume for dinner is something that I'm looking forward to. Which is really like almost impossible considering it's this like keto, low carb, cholesterol free, sugar free diet. And then with food being so expensive, so it's like it puts my wife in a really awkward position. But as long as we communicate, and like it may require that I go to the store. I may have to get off my ass and go and look at the sale paper and grab some stuff. But I think maybe we could just do ribs this year. Usually I'll do something like, beef birds. Oh, that's what I want. That's what I want.
I think I may have made that last year. I'm not sure.
I think you did. I think you did. Yeah. Beef birds, or another thing that I like to have is a beef bird is onion and stuffing that has like skirt steak wrapped around it, pounded
I
out,
saved the recipe last year.
and it's cooked in gravy. So you have and there's a toothpick through it. So you have these things, and you have it with mashed potatoes and the brown gravy, and it's just really good.
Yeah, it's meat with stuffing rolled up with the toothpicks and some.
I mean, you've had it.
Yeah, I've had it.
Isn't it like one of the best things you've ever had?
Yeah, it's very good.
It's really good. And the other thing I used to have is homemade Chinese food. We would make General Tso's chicken. General Tso's chicken. Yeah. And that's we this woman, she's gone. She was murdered. Susanna was her name. And we had them over for dinner. And it's a huge job to make this food. My wife only makes it when I ask. So maybe I get it once a year. There was a couple years where I had it twice in a year, and it was like, I couldn't believe it. But they could not stop eating this chicken. It was hot. And the next day, Susanna comes over and she's like, Leave, when is Donna going to make that chicken again? That's what she was serious. I was like, it's not like that. Like I said, I'll ever give you the recipe. It's not a, it's an expensive thing. You have to like cube the chicken and put it in the batter and deep fry all these individual, like you're deep frying for like an hour, and then you got to wok, you got to deal with, and you got to make the rice, you got to do all the vegetables, and then you got to make the gravy with the peppers. There's a whole thing with oil and peppers where you got to get the temperature just right. It's not a stage 1 cooking. It's like stage 3. Anyway, you guys, this is turning into a long video. I just wanted to come on here and chat and hopefully get this done in 8 minutes or so. I'm really looking forward to making some more music. And again, like I often come on here and make excuses about my health issues or my creativity. I know this year wasn't really that productive, and there isn't anything I can do about that because I was much more focused on getting healthy. And when I get healthy, when I change my lifestyle, I can't. It's much better for me to just vegetate, to just play a video game, to keep my mind off of whatever cravings that I'm going to go through when I change everything about my lifestyle, So, like this is monk fruit tea.
It's not just straight monk fruit.
What else is in there?
I'm just saying, you said this is monk fruit. It's tea with a little bit of lemonade sweetened with monk fruit, and then you've got a little bit of that mango drink.
There's Diet Aldi mango mixed in there, like a splash.
I think that's.
But it's not sugar. It's not like
Splenda. I think it's in the mango.
you can't drink too much of the monk fruit sweetener because it'll give you a real nasty sour stomach. So I'm looking forward to my birthday. I've got a bottle of hard cider that this year I'm drinking it because I quit drinking and I was like, there's this one bottle laying around, And again, Donna, do you think that all of a sudden I'm going to start drinking all the time again because I drink that bottle of cider?
No.
The chances are next to nothing. Like I made the decision about not drinking as much as I used to on my own. Right, Donna?
Yep.
Did anyone have anything to do with that.
Nope.
That's why I was able to do it.
Yeah, it was just all of a sudden kind of out of left field. You were just like, yeah, I'm not drinking anymore. So it was like,
Well, I had thought about it.
yeah, well, you didn't tell me.
I had thought about it. Well, I'm not going to be like,
That's why
I'm
I'm
going to
saying-
quit drinking.
that's
I'm
why
going
I
to
said it
quit
was out of
drinking
left field.
and be a big drama queen and then not quit drinking.
Okay, that's why I said it was out of left field.
I hate people that do that, you know?
I hate people.
I just, one day,
What I'm saying.
I said, you know what? I'm going to take this acid and I'm going to see if I can maybe use this acid trip and integrate not drinking into my life. And that's how I stopped drinking, as an LSD trip. And I don't do that all the time. I'm not tripping. Believe me, that wouldn't be good. Anyway, you guys, take care of yourselves. Hug your pets. Check out that repair shop. It is edifying. It's good. But I think it's healthier to watch this type of thing rather than the normal Hollywood stuff, right? All right, you guys. Take care of yourselves, hug your pets, and peace.